Hey again, everyone. That NES fan coming back at you. And another question that I often get from just about everyone interested in games is what is your favorite PlayStation 2 game, right? So which one, if you had to choose just one, and you know there are, like thousands of PlayStation 2 games out there. There's a ton of them. Because I believe PS2 started in what, like 2 or oh 03 or something like that. They've been around for ages, guys. So, and I grew up on it. Just like I grew up on the NES and certainly the N64. So, what is your all-time favorite PlayStation 2 game? To answer that question, I think I'm going to start out with a little bit of a history of when I started out, kind of with sort of the more 3D graphics dimension kind of thing systems where I progressed. I never had the SNES, as you know. I owned the NES for several years. Grew up on that. And then I want to say about '02, I got GameCube, and I was thrilled with it. Love GameCube. I know I haven't really put any reviews up on here because I don't have a GameCube emulator, on my PC. But I always try to I always try to mention GameCube in some of my videos in passing, right? Because I love it so much, and I think it's a great system. So so I had a lot of GameCube games I grew up with. I got GameCube, like I said, in '02, and then in '04, I got PlayStation 2. And that's kind of when I started, I started really building up a library of PS2 games. I think at one point I was up to like 40 or 50 of them. So for me, that's big. It's a lot of money for me. But like I said, I'm going to be very straight with you, just like I was with the, in my previous video with the N64. I'm going to go with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And I know that seems to be on everyone's, at least in the top like 5 from my experience, on everyone's best PlayStation 2 games of all time, but there's a reason to why I would agree with everyone, and I guess my first reason, anyway, here's the game. I should probably show that off. So, yeah. Not an original copy. I got it, I believe, when did I get this? And I want to say '07 or '08. Remember, it was pulled off the shelves. It was rated like adults only or something, and then they put it back after they took out some sort of mod or whatever, like a hot coffee mod or something. So they had to slap the AO rating on it for that, but I think that was just for the PC. It might have been for all the systems, I don't know. But then they put the M-rated version back on the shelves, and so this is the version that I have. Take a look at it up close. There you go. There it is. So yeah, so getting back to what I was saying, basically why do I feel that this is my all-time favorite game, right? Well, several reasons. One is that you might have heard this game being referred to as that you can do anything in that game. Someone says, "What game are you playing right now?" I say, "Okay, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas," and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you can do anything you want to in that game." And what do we mean by anything you want to? I mean, what exactly does that entail? Well, you pretty much have several. Let's start off with just basics. All right, let's start off with the weaponry in that game. You have at least, and this is just what I've unlocked. All right, you have at least 20 different weapons in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and for me that's a lot because I'm not a big first-person shooter or battle or gun battle or anything like that type of game, except for maybe in passing on the NES or on the N64. But certainly I don't play any games that entail a whole lot of violence on any of the PlayStation games. So right there, I'm kind of a noob when it comes to weaponry, but I know that this game has a ton of weapons. It's got a rifle on there, a shotgun. I think it's even got a grenade launcher on there. So the weaponry selection is just extremely robust on the game, and at the time it was extremely, it was almost unheard of, I think. So what is another thing that makes it so good, that makes it such a great game? I would have to say the vehicle selection. You can drive just about any vehicle you want to in Grand Theft Auto. You can drive tanks. You can drive just about any type of emergency vehicle. The thing that really impressed me was that you can drive fire engines, and now can you actually drive the vehicles, because actual playable vehicles in a game is, to me, a whole wide variety is, to me, extraordinary in and of itself. But you can actually do missions with them. Like, you will complete missions. They'll let you complete missions with the fire engine, right? You have to put out fires. You get money for it. They'll let you complete missions with taxi cabs, bus driving missions. You name it, anything you can do. And you can even go on ships if you want to in passing. You can go on ships, you can go in the water, you can do anything you want as far as getting around. You're unlimited, absolutely unlimited. So that's probably the second thing, is the vehicle selection is absolutely amazing. And so even for that reason alone, it would automatically probably be in my top 20, just if I were evaluating on that criteria alone. As always, and I mean always, it comes back to the gameplay, right? It comes back to the gameplay and the replay value. And every time you play, maybe this is just my experience with Rockstar in general. Every time I play a Rockstar game, it's always different, and regardless of the system. Okay, I've been playing Rockstar games for at least the last 7 years, and they're all the same. They're all different. Poppin', I don't know if you're familiar with Bully on PlayStation 2. It's always different. Every time, the environment's always changing. It always adapts to the player, it seems like. And you're left with a different experience every time. A good experience, a full, complete experience, but it's always different. So it's always challenging. You're always facing new challenges, new mini games, side missions, etc. So it's always you always learn something from it. You always get a new experience every time. I mean, what else would you really want in a game? So that's what's great about Rockstar. And when it comes to PlayStation 2, they are the ultimate rock stars in my book. So Grand Theft Auto is definitely, and again, I could spend probably an hour just talking about Grand Theft Auto and how amazing it is. I could mention the more than over 100 missions. I can mention the thousands of little cheats and special things you can unlock, and the pop culture references and all that. I could spend hours on it. I could give you a tutorial. I could show you how to unlock every one of them probably. And it's just it still blows my mind that they were able to get all of that into one game in 2004. I mean, we marvel at that right now, given that everything's in HD right now. It looks a lot better. But we still marvel at the same concept. Well, we see it on PS3 or Xbox or even on the 3DS and the upcoming Vita. We marvel at all that stuff. So for that reason, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was way ahead of its time. And I'm going to be putting up footage from that the next couple, probably about a week or so from now, because I think it's an amazing game. Earlier last year, I think, well, let's see, when was it? I think over the summer last year, I put up Driver 2 footage, but PS1. So I put up some PS1 footage, but I want to put up more Sony vids, too, to kind of, get some diversity in my videos, so it's not just all Nintendo. But certainly I'm going to focus heavily on Grand Theft Auto, because I haven't put anything up yet, even though, like I said, I wanted to. My last computer wouldn't really allow me to do it. So I'm going to focus on that a lot in the next couple weeks. So yeah, guys, that is my favorite PS2 game. There are always other ones too. Like I say, there's God of War was definitely up there. I want to show you actually what I actually have an original PS1 system. I'm not going to do a system review or anything like Keep 33 would do, but nothing really close up. I really don't have a like I say, I really don't have an original controller. I have a really newer age controller that lights up or whatever. But anyway, here is the an original PSX sort of, and and by original I mean it's actually a PlayStation 1. It's not a modded box or anything like that. It is an original PS1. It's just a little bit of a newer version. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. So that's yeah, so that's that. And like I say, I want to put up more PS1. In general, I want to do more PlayStation footage because I think that'll be really, cool. So kind of add some more diversity to that NES fans channel. So that'll be all for now, guys. I appreciate you watching, and please feel free to leave a comment or post a video response as you see necessary. So that'll be all for now, and like I say, I'm gonna put up. I should be putting up in the next week or so more PlayStation 1 and 2 vids. So we had a little more variety here. So that's all for now. Stay cool, guys. That NES fans signing off. So long.